All right, it is officially 5:30, so we're going to call this regular meeting of the Marion County Board of Education to order, and I need a motion on item 1A.
I will make a motion to approve the March 14th, 2024 board meeting agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have a couple of Knight Academy students that are going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you would, stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 3 on the agenda is communications, and 3A is public comment. We don't have anyone this evening, so we'll move on to 3B, which is our superintendent report. Mr. Brady?
All right. A lot going on in the past month. We'll start with facilities in Calvary Elementary. I was just telling Ms. Trude a few minutes ago, Calvary Elementary really is starting to feel like a school. Our HVAC units are being installed. They've started bricking the lower portion of the building. It's difficult to see in that picture, but if you look at the top right corner of the picture, you can see the first few layers of brick have started to be installed. And then there's soon, within the next 2 weeks, going to be pouring the roof on the storm shelter, so it will be an encased concrete portion for storms. So major progress going on in Calvary. So lots of fun things to share. So first grade students in Mrs. Peaks and Mrs. Patton's classes at West Marion did a book signing event for the class books they wrote and published, and the books focused on students' experience and showing love. I know we had at least a board member or two who went and really enjoyed that. So congratulations to those students, and it was, again, a good time there. Continuing on, Marion County Knight Academy played host to district's robotics competition recently, and West Marion finished first in the elementary division and will move on to the state competition along with Calvary Elementary, which finished second. So teams from the Knight Academy and Marion Middle will also advance to the state competition as well. So congratulations to those students. So Marion County Middle School Maroon volleyball team held their undefeated season and won the district division championship. So I have had lots of pictures shared with me this week in this nice weather with our outdoor classrooms, and it's so enjoyable to see students having fun and learning outdoors with our new outdoor learning spaces. So that was Marion Middle, but again, numerous schools this week have sent me pictures in what they're doing with the outdoor classrooms. So I can't wait to see how we finish up the end of the year now that it's getting warmer outside to see what fun things happen on our outdoor classrooms. Continuing on with West Marion, you see there. So Mr. Gribbins, at Glasscock Elementary helped his kindergarten students with the alphabet by playing a game called LMNOP. So I love this picture. He's standing up on that table, and the students they're just fixated on him. So again, another peak moment for Marion County Schools. So the Marion County High School held its ACT pep rally on Monday, and 11th graders took the ACT on Tuesday. So that is always a good event. So if you ever get a chance to attend that, you need to do so. It is a good event. So Marion County Knight Academy held its March Madness book battle for Read Across America Week, and it was based on the child's favorite book, and Pete the Cat was the overall winner. So you can see Pete the Cat in the middle there. Pretty cool activity. March 4th through the 8th was National School Breakfast Week, so thanks to our cafeteria workers, they did lots of exciting, and Miss Wheeler, for all that they did that week. I heard several students make comments about the funnel cakes and different things. So again, just our food service folks do a really good job to make not only our meals nutritious and tasty, but also to have a little bit of fun with it. So we appreciate their extra efforts. So our Young Leaders Conference will be held this Saturday, March 16th at Marion County High School. So elementary and middle school students from across the district have been invited, and the MCPS ambassadors will lead sessions focused on leadership and soft skills. So Miss Kentucky, Mallory Hudson, will also be the keynote speaker. So that is always a nice event as well. So our EL and Migrant Education Program is hosting a community multicultural night on March 28th from 5 to 7 at the Marion County Night Academy. The event will include food, music, art, and various cultures will be represented throughout Marion County. So that's should be a nice event as well. So preschool numbers: Calvary 17, Glasscock 35, LES 20, West Marion 35 for a total of 107. And our Dolly Parton Imagination Library, 673 active and 1213 have graduated. And for appreciation, March 3rd was Maintenance and Grounds Worker Appreciation Day. So thank you to those folks and what they do for us each day. And that's it. Any questions? Thank you all.
Next item on the agenda is item 3C with our student recognition. So, Mr. Brady, you want to?
I do. So I would like to recognize Marion County High School junior Tristan Whitlock. Is Tristan here?
He's coming.
Oh, he's coming. Okay, well.
We're having a hard time hearing my.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. So each year for our KSBA conference, Kentucky School Board Association, we're terrible in education about using acronyms, but we have students that design banners, and Tristan's banner was selected to represent Marion County. So congratulations, Tristan. They give a book each year, a commemorative banner book, so your banner is in here along with all the rest of the school district. So congratulations.
Next item on our agenda is item 3D, and we have a presentation by our Marion County Night Academy. So, great.
We're Marion County Teen Leadership. I'm Savannah Campbell.
I'm Patience Staples.
I'm Kenneth Lanham.
I'm Chloe Lindsay.
And I'm Mary Waffen.
What is Teen Leadership? Teen Leadership is a program to where students can take on loads of responsibility roles, and it helps present students with creativity, their kindness, and their knowledge.
Over the span of this year, we celebrated World Kindness Day. We helped support the Youth Service Center. We celebrated being drug-free. We did third-party compliments showing love to our peers. We celebrated Thanksgiving. We hosted a winter formal. We celebrated Kindness Week. We're continuing to help the community, and we're continuing to work on public speaking, and we plan to bring awareness to child abuse.
Hear from our own members. Harper Blake loves teen leadership because it helps her have an influence. Nisha Patel likes teen leadership because she's able to express her creativity. Maddie Ryan loves teen leadership because of the community it builds.
World Kindness Day. On World Kindness Day, everyone in Teen Leadership passed out cards with positive affirmations on them. Students were asked to pass the card on to a friend or even someone who they don't normally talk to spread kindness throughout our school.
We help support the Youth Service Center by hosting a canned food drive.
During Kindness Week, we had students during Night Way complete a third-party compliment card. For the compliments, we made a video explaining what students should do and how to fill out the card. After we had all of the classes turn in their cards, we sorted them out and wrote cards for the students who did not receive any.
Thankfulness Tree. For Thanksgiving and Nightway, every student was given a leaf and was told to write something they're thankful for, then color it. After we collected all the leaves, Teen Leadership taped them to the tree and the students' work could be displayed.
We celebrated being drug-free with Red Ribbon Week, which included a fun festive spirit week, and we had a chance to hear from amazing public speaker Forrest Quillen to tell his story about being drug-free.
When winter formal. This year we hosted a winter formal with the theme Nights Camera Action. It was a well thought out project and we knew we wanted to make it a memorable night for everyone. Our expectations were far reached and I think it's safe to say that everyone had the best time.
How do we plan to close out this year? Well, we will be having public speaking opportunities. We will promote Child Abuse Awareness Month, and we will continue community service. We will also be celebrating our achievements over the course of this year.
Nice job, you guys.
My name's Miss Kay. I'm a new teacher at MCKA. Last year was my first year. I was hired right before the start of school, and I had never taught a day in my life, so I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So the 7 components that we learned last year really helped me. It gave me like a roadmap. You know, it was like a GPS on what to do, how to lesson plan, and I think that these ones are the ones that I benefited from the most. Toggling with instruction was one of the biggest ones that I use, where I teach and then I check to see if the kids have learned, and I just kind of go back and forth with that, and I use a lot of Kagan to do that, and I feel like it definitely taught me how to teach more effectively. The students have learned and retained the knowledge better. When I compared my data from last year to this year, it's improved significantly, so that's it. They told me to keep it short and sweet. So.
Short, sweet.
Hi guys, I'm Paige Mattingly. I am 9th grade reading and writing, if I think we're calling it that now instead of English language arts, so moving with the times. So I've learned a lot, especially in our faculty meetings, about the 7 components, and Miss Brady and Miss Bevan model those and create faculty meetings involving all those 7 components. So we can kind of see it in action and get some information from them to take back to our classroom. Our learning targets, we assess those each day. The learning target aligns to the exit slip, and I've really felt like that's helped me a lot because it informs my instruction as I'm going forward, and I can get a quick snapshot every single day of how every single student is doing. So I think it's super beneficial. Last year, to speak frankly, my scores, or not my scores, the students' scores, on our common assessments kind of plateaued a little bit. And I feel like this year we've involved that 7 components and we've seen consistent growth after each unit test. So the data really speaks for itself. But I think that is the one big factor that's kind of changed the game in our classrooms. Also, student conversations seem to be richer in content and richer in analytical thought. They know what they're doing, they know why they're doing it, they know where they're going. And also, I'm seeing a lot of evidence of mastery in the exit slips in classroom discussions and informative assessment. So across the board, I think it's been beneficial, and Ms. Brady and Ms. Bevan have led the way on that, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sierra Seaborn. I teach 9th grade biology. I'm a little long-winded, so I'm going to keep it short. But just like Miss Kay had said, it's like a roadmap. The 7 components have been like a roadmap for me. Miss Seaborn, what are we doing today? You know, I hated that. That was a question I hated to answer, honestly. And it's not just because my students asked me that, but it's because I asked myself that. I started teaching last year, and then now, like, where are we going? I know where I'm going now. Using these 7 components within the classroom has helped my instruction have a better direction. Instead of entering into my classroom with a general idea of where I was going, now I have a roadmap with clear and precise directions that drive my instruction daily. I know each day the checkpoint that I must venture through to get to my final destination, and my final destination is, you know, just student success.
the daily learning target, intentional spiral review. And I actually pull those questions from Otis tests that we have had in the past because I want to make sure, hey, that's congruent to standards. So let's keep on reviewing those. Hook, that's fun for not only the teacher, but fun for the students too. They really enjoy it. It keeps us all engaged. Now toggling, and I like to say, when you're on a road trip, you have to check that map numerous times along the way. Whoops, if you made a wrong turn, you know where to go back, and you know how to fix it. That's why you want to keep toggling back and forth and just creating those checkpoints to make sure that the students are all clear there. Just towards the end, you're going to review that daily learning target, and then our exit slip. In my classroom, I just kind of wanted to show, I have a guided question. We know where we're starting at. And then by the end of class that day, we know where we're going to end. And we need to make sure that we are all in a group consensus on the answer for that day. So yeah, thank you.
I guess I should explain on this slide. Lisa Miner was one that was going to share tonight as an experienced teacher, and she's homesick with the flu. So I told her, don't worry about it, but she wanted to make a little video because she just felt that passionate about sharing with you guys. So Miss Hood's going to play the video.
Hi everybody, I apologize that I can't be there in person tonight for the meeting. The flu has hit my house and has wiped us out for the rest of the week. So I'm not there in person, but I still wanted to take time to do a little video and let you all know about how the 7 components have affected my classroom and my favorite parts of it. What I like about the 7 components is that it's not anything new. It's taking what the teachers already know and what they've already done and just tweaking it a little bit and making it fit along with these 7 components of an ideal lesson to just kind of flow well and create a lesson that's going to be successful for kids. My favorite part out of all of these would probably be the hooks because previously in past years, like I would always do a bell work and something that the kids would do as soon as they entered the classroom. And I would have considered that my hook to get them going and get started. But a hook is truly just something quick and easy to help with the transition into a lesson. So I've kind of changed my format of my daily lessons to start with spiral review for their bell work as soon as they come into the classroom so that they're bringing up past topics from like previous years, not just previous lessons from my class, but previous years as well. So we'll have questions about 6th and 7th grade and social studies just to see if they can remember those topics and bring that back up to their memory and see how well they can remember that. So we'll do spiral review, but then whenever we get to the hook part of the lesson, that is just something quick and easy that helps with the transition into what we're going to be learning about that day. It can be a quick little picture analysis where we look at pictures through history. We say, okay, what do you see in this picture? What do you think is happening? And then it kind of springboards our lesson for the day. Probably the most important part of the 7 steps that really affects student success would be the toggling of the questioning back and forth between the lesson and the student questions. We've always been taught higher order thinking questions and different questioning techniques and strategies. But it's more than just doing a lesson and asking a question and having a few kids answer and talking about what the answer is. It's actually making sure that the entire class understands what you're doing through that question. So the toggling back and forth is, checking for understanding for the entire class. Sometimes I'll use whiteboards and I'll ask a question. I'll have everybody in the class show me, write down their answer on their whiteboard and show me what their answer is. I call it a show me what you know. And they can hold it up and I can quickly look around the classroom and see if every single person in that classroom understands what we're doing or if they don't understand and I've got to go over something again. A lot of the Kagan strategies that we've been taught through the years work really, really great for this toggling back and forth. And like I said, it's all about 100% participation. Everybody in that class, you can look around the room and see if everybody gets it or not. So it's not just random questioning or pulling a stick out of a jar with a name on it and saying, you answer this question. Everybody in that classroom, 100%. they're doing something to show that they understand it or not. And so it's a very easy way to check the understanding for the entire class. The exit ticket, all of these things that the 7 components that are in the 7 components of an ideal lesson, like I said, they're not new. It's taking all those little things that teachers already do and just putting them in a format that works great for student success. I really like the 7 components and feel that it really helps the flow of my lessons. And I think that everybody should be using these 7 components, and once you get used to it, the more you use it, the easier it is to plan for. And it has really, really helped me see more students have success in my class. I hope you all have a great rest of your night. Sorry I couldn't be there, but I really like these 7 components and felt that I needed to still tell what I like about them. You all have a great night.
So the 7 components of an ideal lesson is something that we've worked on district-wide, but I want to give a shout out to Miss Brady and her staff. So last year, her test scores shot up double digits, and John Hattie's done a lot of research on what truly makes an impact, and there's a fancy term called collective teacher efficacy, and really all that means is that all of you, that you're working together toward a common cause and common focus, and Miss Brady and her staff have done that with this 7 components of an ideal lesson. So thank you for the work that you've done, and your test results are showing that, so kudos to you all.
And then do we have one more student?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that she was able to show like she.
Okay. Thank you all. And I mean, I think Joey mentioned earlier, this is the first time he's been in this building and commented on how beautiful it is and just what a wonderful space. And so to see not only like that the facility is a wonderful space, but the people in it are what make a building. And you've got a good group of people. You've got a great group of students. You're just making wonderful things happen here. So I thank each and every single one of you for the work that you do here every day. It shows by leaps and bounds. So thank you very much. All right, moving on to item 3E, Ms. Akers, the attendance and enrollment reports.
Good evening. So at Calvary Elementary School, they have in kindergarten through 5th grade, they have 206 students with 17 preschoolers for a total of 223. At Glasscock, they have 435 students, 35 preschoolers for a total of 470. At Lebanon Elementary, they have 321 students, 20 preschoolers for a total of 341. At West Marion, they have 360 students, kindergarten through 5th grade. I have 36, but I think that's changed since Monday. So they actually have 35 preschoolers for a total of 395. At Marion County Middle School, they have 405 students. At the Knight Academy, 472. At Marion County High School, they have an enrollment of 676 kids, and QC Spalding, 156. We have a total of 3,138 students in the district. Our monthly attendance, again, January and February, there have been a lot of illnesses, and so we are at 90.90 for the month of February for all schools. Our attendance year to date, we continue to be in the green at 93.54. So that's all of the months combined. Yeah, this day to day is not going to be a shocker with our attendance. It has been in the red, except for February 12th. You'll also notice that the end days are our NTI days. So we are at, we have finished 129 days. We have 45 more days remaining. We've used 4 NTI days and 4 makeup days. We have 150 students who are homeschooled. For redistricting, our draft boundary lines have been created for our middle school, and we're going to look at those later on the agenda. You guys will. And we're continuing the work on the elementary draft boundary lines. Do you have any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody get well, please. Okay, next item is item 3F. Scott, with our finance report.
Clear room.
I guess I run you off.
I mean, why wouldn't they want to say to you, Scott?
Nobody's sticking around for this agenda. You have to.
Clear room.
Taking a look of February, this is not the right one. Well, but I can get to you. Anyway, look at the month of February, property taxes are up 5%. We received our PSC, our franchise tax, and it's up $150,000 over last year. We have received our still experience tax, which is up $50,000 over last year, and our property tax is up as well. So assessments were up, so it kind of all makes sense. Utility taxes up 14%. That is actually due, we've collected one more payment. I guess the leap year help we received on the 29th, but last year we didn't receive February's until March, so we did receive it within the month. Interest continue to be up. And the other, as we talked about multiple times, I'd like to do the insurance claim from the March 3rd, 2023 windstorm. Instruction is pretty flat overall. Revenues are up 1.3 million, but expenses are up 630,000 for a net of about 700,000 to the good. So we'll continue to monitor that and looking at multiple efficiencies. I will say diesel was down $80,000, so that's kind of offset some expenses that Mr. Raven and those guys have had with the bus garage. And the fitness center utilities are down $4,000. I think maybe it's something to do, we've tightened the envelope there with the roof and things. So again, just continue looking at efficiencies. I did pass out the trend data of the higher ticket items to kind of see there that we're pretty in line where we should be at. So any questions on the month of February? Finances. Thank you.
Alright, moving on to item 4, I need a motion on item 4A, please.
Make a motion to consider approval of a shortened school day for students, number 07-024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to item 5. Item 5A, I need a motion on that one, please.
I'll move to consider approval of boundary lines for Marion County Middle School and Lebanon Middle School.
I'll second.
We have a map somewhere, I think. I mentioned it to Angie before the meeting, and we will be able, I can't tell if a student lives on the line, I can't tell which school they'll go to, but we're able to respond to individual students.
So we
when they
actually
call.
have this map developed, thanks Mr. Simpson, and the county, which department helped us with that?
I guess the E911.
The E911, Sharon Browning, helped us to take this map, and it's actually at a high enough resolution that you can actually zoom in now and see the streets. So
Is that on the web?
If it gets
school
approved
website?
here in just a minute,
And
Mr. Simpson.
And so as a parent, we'll be able to click something and tell which school you're going to be assigned to without calling anybody?
Yes, so in about 5 minutes
Okay.
after you approve this, we're
Well,
going to
we
get
may-
that thing
we'll-
uploaded. Yes.
We'll do that maybe.
Something, just a question, with this, are we seeing decreased bus routes? Are we gonna have less buses traveling?
So overall, with going back to the 2 middle school models, we should be down in the number of bus routes. We actually had to add bus routes when we did the reconfiguration previously, so we will be down at least 1 bus route and possibly 2. We're still working on finalization of that, but it definitely down 1 bus route and probably likely 2. It's just a more efficient model to do it this way.
Questions?
Can we get a second?
Peggy.
Yeah.
Peggy did that.
Have we had much public comment or questionings? Or?
No, I think the biggest comments that we get is, my child lives on such and such street. Where am I going to be going to school? And they should be able to tell that tonight. And if they can't tell on this map, then we do know that information, and they can contact our office.
Okay.
I've had several parents, both at the elementary and middle school level, reach out to me personally and just say, I can't tell, and I'll pull up the map the other maps that we had, and it was challenging to tell. I mean, if they're
Yes.
on the line, you can kind of look at things, but that map already looks wonderful. I think it's going to look it's going to be a very helpful resource. I think the PDF that people had been used to was very clear. You could zoom in and kind of see neighborhoods, and so I think this one's going to be the same way. But again, for those people out there who are wondering where their kids are going to go to school, reach out, ask us. I promise you, we will tell you give you every bit of information that we can, and kind of let you know how things are going to progress. So, yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to anybody, really, any of your board members, any of central office staff. We're here to help and support your students and your families. So,
We will also be sending a message to those families, correct, Mr. Simpson?
As soon as it's approved, we'll schedule a text
Yes.
message to go out with a link to that map. It'll be sent to the families of current 5th, 6th, and 7th grade students.
Great.
Rising middle schoolers.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5B.
Make a motion to consider approval of recognition of Glasscock Elementary School PTO.
Second.
I just want to say, Mr. Brady let me know that Glasscock hadn't had a PTO for a while, so I just want to express my immense appreciation to those individuals who've stepped up to kind of get this this organization back into that elementary school. I know that Glasscock always has a wonderful fall festival. The chili is second to none, so even if you don't have a kid at Glasscock, go eat that chili because it's amazing. Hopefully they won't bring back the vuvuzuelas though, because that's a little bit much at the fall festival. But I'm just really appreciative of the people who will step up and volunteer and say that they're willing to help. So whoever you are, thank you so much. I look forward to hearing from you as a parent of a Glasscock student, and look forward to being able to help and support what we do there. So thank you. Other questions, comments? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5C, please.
Consider approval of the 24-25 Hordes Landscape Service Agreement.
I'll second.
Any questions here? All in favor? Need a motion on item 5D.
Move to consider approval of Solient Health LLC Client Service Agreement.
I'll second. Any questions?
Could you explain that a little
Yeah,
bit?
so what this is our DHH, deaf and hard hearing teacher, recently moved to another district that was just closer to home. She was driving about an hour and a half one way each way, so she did get a job closer to home, and so we were unable to fill that position. So this is just so that we can provide services to those students. It's through a contractual basis.
Other questions? All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5E, please.
Make a motion to consider approval of municipal advisor in engagement contract with Robert W. Byrd and Company Industry.
I'll second. Any questions?
Might want to explain it.
Yeah, so Baird's our bonding agent that helps us through all of our facilities that we've done and the bonding part that goes with that.
And they do a wonderful job.
And
for
they've
us.
done a
They do.
wonderful job, yes. It's Chip and Kelly that come.
How long is this contract for?
It'll be just for any bonds we issue for these summer projects. This
Okay,
is
just-
just the window for this one opportunity.
Okay.
You know, any more in the future, we'll do the same thing.
Okay.
Other questions? All in favor?
Um,
Aye. Need a motion on item 5F.
Move to consider approval of 2024 Kentucky Interlocal School Transportation Association resolution.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5G.
Make a motion to consider approval to declare bus number 91, number 61, number 51, number 81, and number 104 surplus property, and bus 101 as salvage.
Second.
Questions? All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5H. I'll make a motion to consider approval to declare the 2006 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 surplus.
Second.
Any questions? Any takers? All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5I.
I make a motion to consider approval of disposal of additional technology surplus items attachment 2.
second. Any questions here? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5J?
Make a motion to consider approval of BG 5 for Marion County High School gym roof replacement, BG number 24-047.
Sec-
Go ahead, Paige.
Second.
This closes that out, yes?
It does.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5K, please.
Move to consider approval of consulting contract with Ross Tarrant for furniture for the new Calvary Elementary, BG number 22-052.
Second.
Any questions here? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion on item 5L.
Make a motion to consider acceptance of bids for contract for Ray House demolition number, BG number 24-254.
Second.
I'll have to abstain from this vote, but I think we want to discuss our options here. Oh, we're just accepting the bids. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're just-
Do we
Wrong
wanna-
one.
Yeah.
But before we nominate, can we discuss here?
Yes,
or-
absolutely. Absolutely. So,
One thing I want to say is thanks for all the locals that did. We had a lot of good contractors that put in bids, including Griggs Enterprises, who's done phenomenal job work for us. Just me personally, I love to see if we can do a local contractor, but I'm not opposed to someone that's far away either, or someone, as long as it's somebody that we trust. The bids are really tight at the bottom. Come in with $300. Within 1% of the bid is pretty good. Anytime we can keep our local tax dollars local, I think is a benefit. However, we have a great working relationship with Griggs Enterprises, as well as the local contractors that have submitted bids. I know a lot of them, and they are all great people and would do a great job. So that's just what I have to say about that.
I personally have no, I really don't know anybody, so.
Right.
I have no personal, Griggs Enterprises has worked for us and have done a great job. But I am absolutely sure these companies will also do the same if they were asked to do it.
So just to expand upon Joey's point for the public, we had 5 bids within $5,000, so very tight range.
other questions, comments here? All in favor? Aye. I need a motion on item 5M.
I make a motion to consider approval. Let's see. Consider approval to award bid for contract for Ray House demolition BG 24-254 to Farmer and Sons.
I will second.
This one I have to abstain on. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Terry, did we get a yes?
I haven't voted yet.
Okay.
We can take a higher bid if that's the best for the, if that's the best way to get it done. And I think putting the interest of local contractors and weighing, Griggs, we have a great relationship. As somebody said, they got their equipment here, and I understand how they can come in like that, but I don't, I'm wavering, but I don't think I have any problem with giving some small benefit to a local contractor. So my vote is yes.
Thank you. Okay, I need a motion on item 5N, please.
Make a motion to consider approval of revised BG 1 for the Ray House demolition project, BG 24-254.
I'll second.
I know we've got a lot of revisions, so do you want to talk a little bit about the,
Yeah, so what the revised BG ones, what they do on each one of these is just to put actual amounts on there, so it just cleans those up. We had estimates before.
Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5O, please. I'll make a motion to consider approval to award the contract to L.E. Gregg for special inspections and testing for the Ray House demolition project at a cost not to exceed $4,400.
I'll second.
Any questions here? All in favor? Aye. I need a motion on item 5P.
Move to consider acceptance of bids for partial roof replacement at the Area Technology Center, BG number 24-118.
Second.
Questions here?
It's needed, I'm sure.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5Q. I will make a motion to consider approval to award the bid for the partial roof replacement at the Area Technology Center, BG number 24-118 to Escola Roofing for $714,642.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Real quick, we've had worked with those. Have we worked with those?
We have not, but Randy, you're here. Would you like to talk about Escola Roofing and the
Sure.
work that maybe you've had, experiences you've had?
Escola is a quality roofing contractor. Sorry, dodging the columns here. We've done work with them in the past in different districts, including Monroe County. Recently, in the last couple of years, and they did a great job there. Fulfilled the contract obligations and provided a high quality roof there. So I have no reservations about recommending Escola.
Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5R.
Make a motion to consider approval of revised BG1 for partial roof replacement at the Area Technology Center, BG number 24-118.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5S.
Consider acceptance of bids for partial roof replacement at the Marion County Middle, BG number 24-119.
Second.
Any questions here? All in favor? Aye. I need a motion on item 5T. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll make a motion to consider approval to award bid for partial roof replacement at the Marion County Middle, BG 24-119 to Escola Roofing in the amount of $714,642.
That's
That's
the
it,
other
that's
one.
it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Here it is, if you don't have it.
Which one is this? I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm sorry, to Escola Roofing in the amount of $503,225.
Second.
Any questions here? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5U, please. I'll make a motion to consider approval of the revised BG1 for the partial roof replacement at the Marion County Middle School, BG number 24-119.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5V.
I'd make a motion to consider acceptance of 5V, consider acceptance of bids for partial window replacement at the Marion County Middle, BG 24-120.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to consider approval, and I'll make this motion on 5W, to award the bid for the partial window replacement at Marion County Middle School, BG number 24-120 to Central Kentucky Glass Company of Lexington for $446,770.
I'll second.
Any questions?
Have we worked with these people?
Yes, and they've been excellent. They did a lot of the work at the high school and at Glasscock.
Okay, great.
Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5X.
Make a motion to consider approval of revised BG1 for partial window replacement at the Marion County Middle, 24-120.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5Y, please. I'll make a motion to consider acceptance of the bids for the roof replacement at the Glasscock Annex and Old Bus Garage, BG number 24-121.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion on item 5Z. And I'll make that motion as well, to consider approval to award the bid for the roof replacement at the Glasscock Annex and Old Bus Garage to Pierce Blackburn Roofing in the amount of $157,420.
Second.
Randy, I think you've got some insight to provide on this one.
The bids for this particular project were interesting. First of all, the initial low bidder was deemed non-responsive because they didn't provide the appropriate paperwork, etc. And then the two second low bidders were extremely close in the number and the value of that. You all as the board and as the owner have the discretion of being able to select, as you did previously on the Ray House at your all's discretion, the best bid that suits your all's purposes and benefits you all as far as other things to consider. And one of those things to consider is that Pierce Blackburn is currently working on the Glasscock Elementary School, doing other work, and I think it would be easier and more beneficial to be able to coordinate that other work with this ongoing work, and the cost differential is extremely a small percentage between the two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5AA.
To make a motion to consider approval of revised BG1 for roof replacement at the Glasscock Annex and Old Bus Garage, BG number 24-121.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Phew. I need a motion on item 5BB, please.
I move to consider approval of pay app number 11 to Griggs Enterprises in the amount of $478,375.20 for work performed and $424,985.50 to vendors for materials on the new Calvary Elementary School, BG number 22-052.
Second.
Any questions here? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5CC.
Make a motion to consider approval of change order number 11 to Griggs Enterprises in the amount of $35,706.78 for the new Calvary Elementary School, BG 22-052.
I'll second.
Mr. Brady, would you like to speak to this?
Yeah, so there were, part of this is there were several errors and omissions, I believe, in maybe the planning phases of this. So I would like for maybe either Randy or Mr. Reeves, I think you're in attendance, to kind of explain maybe how some of this happened to our public.
Sure. Is there one specific you want me to?
I'd like for you to cover them in their entirety.
So this change order number 11 is made up of 7 separate items. And I'm going to start with the most recent. There was on the fire alarm drawings, we did not show one fire alarm strobe that, in working with Griggs and the electrical contractor, they felt that the inspector would require. So we, excuse me, we reached out to the inspector, talked to them. They did say the drawings had been submitted to the state and approved, but the local inspector did request that be added. So that reflects, that was $500, $550. There was 2 louvers for the storm shelter that so probably 5 years ago, there was a change in the requirement that we now have to have storm shelters. In that, there's basically a FEMA rating for tornadoes and hurricanes. The way those are installed, there's a difference now that we're gonna have to put 2 louvers back to back. This change order adds that second louver. So it'll give you, from the outside, you won't know that there's 2 louvers there, but it protects the students so nothing can penetrate inside the building.
What changed? Why was there not two in the initial designing phase?
So we've been designing these, like I said, for about 5 years, and we've never done two previously. What it is the manufacturer came back and said their rating, most school walls are concrete block like you see in brick on the outside. So that louver gets installed normally in line with the brick. What the manufacturers are saying, their rating requires that louver to be installed in line with the concrete block, which is the true strength of the wall. That's what holds up the building. So when we do that, when we slide it back in the wall, you end up with a weird condition that it either looks weird and you have to flash it out, or rain can get down behind the brick, which is not an ideal condition. So what we're doing is putting a second louver in front of it that keeps the rain out, but then in the event of a tornado, that louver could blow away, but the inside louver would work. So that's a new condition that you're not the only one. This is the first we've heard of a manufacturer require that, so we reached out to other louver manufacturers, and they're saying the exact same thing, that that's what the new UL, or the new, it's not UL listing, but a required federal listing is going to require happen.
So the federal, the listing did not require it the first time that they put it out, is what you're saying?
No one was aware of it at that time. This is the first. We heard of it roughly a month ago, maybe 2 months now. And so that's something that's going to happen industry-wide, is you're going to start seeing this. And what we're hoping is, now that people know this, they're going to modify how they make their louvers. And because there's another option that goes into way more detail than you want, but hopefully going forward, they're going to modify how they manufacture these, and we won't have to do two louvers back to back. Next item is additional door card readers. So there was meetings during the design, and we identified X number of card readers, right? So staff would have access to the building without carrying physical keys. Going through construction processes, the building starts going up. I think people were out on site, and you start seeing, well, maybe it makes sense for a couple other doors to have that as well. So that was something, working with Mr. Spalding, that we identified beneficial to the staff, that they not have to carry keys when they run outside to take out garbage from the kitchen, et cetera. They'll just be able to get back in with scanning their ID badge. Two PR 20 and 21 are almost identical in that it is making all the classrooms uniform in where their data ports are around the room. There was difference in the design from one end of the building to the other. There's sort of two different wings, and it's making all of those identical, so a teacher can, if they move from one classroom to the next, it's going to look the same to them.
And that was a significant portion of this change order. So why were they different? I'm just curious.
I think, so the design is, there has to be X number of data outlets in a room, right? So we laid them out and we drew it and it's on the back wall of these rooms. In some of them, I think we put 2, and then in some rooms, we put 3. And that was in talking to Mr. Spalding and others, we agreed that let's make them the same and put 3 on each of those walls. So it does add, it's a box in the wall plus some conduit and some data wiring for each of those. And then there's one small credit on the door hardware and our drawings. We called for a couple door hold open devices. It was determined those weren't needed, so a credit was taken there. That was $3,000. And then I believe the emergency lighting, there was additional cost for, this was a mechanical room, correct? There was a mechanical space that did not have any emergency lighting, which it's not a code requirement. That room doesn't have to have it for emergency access, but it does make sense. And so that was something, I think that item and a couple others are the result of, to date, we've had good success with overall change orders, and getting some of the credits back, like from the water line, allow you to do things that make it a nice facility. Emergency lighting, if you got to go in there when the power's off and troubleshoot, that's a good thing to have. Any questions about those? I kind of went through all of them.
My question would be to Randy.
Yes, ma'am.
Would this not have come up during y'all's research on building of the building?
Are you talking about
yes.
the louvers?
Yes.
So, that did not come up. That apparently is a relatively new industry understanding of how that louver needs to get mounted into the wall. And I think Chris explained that pretty well. Typically a louver is kind of out in the brick, and so that looks pretty flush and clean and doesn't allow birds' nests, etc. The way that was going to have to be installed in the actual structural wall was going to be a pretty deep recess back in the wall, and that was going to allow water to penetrate into that cavity between the brick and the concrete block, and also provide a pretty deep ledge that we were concerned that you would have birds' nests being built there at a louver, that you certainly don't want to be having that at that location. So it's a new industry understanding of how that louver has to get installed that's caused us to kind of rethink that and come up with this different detail. Several options were researched, as Chris mentioned, and this was the most economical as far as adding a second louver to make a finished condition at that location.
Other questions? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion on item 5D.
Acknowledgement.
Oh, I do this every time. Acknowledgement of the field trips. Y'all are just gonna have to ask permission. I mean, I'm just getting messed up every week or every month. So acknowledgement of field trips. Have a great time. Be safe while you're going. And then I need a motion on item 6.
I make a motion to consider approval of student learning and support and consent items A through O.
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 7 is acknowledgement of personnel actions. So acknowledged, and Mr. Mills, do your thing.
Madam Chair, with extreme gratefulness to the Knight Academy, provide us a wonderful place, a big table with lots of room. I reluctantly move that we adjourn this meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.